Hey guys, welcome to the Mo and O Show. We realized we didn't do an intro for the last episode.
You know what? That's the first time there was no problem with the intro.
I agree. My name is Omar Gonzalez.
I'm Omar Ellis.
Hey, and we are friends from grammar school, high school, and we are just hanging out and we decided to record. So we'll pretend you're not here. Hey, buddy.
Hey. Who's those people? They're looking at us.
All right.
Hey, hold on. Let me tell you something.
Go for it.
So yesterday I'm driving home. I went to go visit my brother, and I'm driving home through the dark streets of my little pueblo.
Okay.
And
Mexico.
I'm just driving, and I don't see anything, but I feel a boom boom,
Oh, yeah.
and I hear a pop. Right?
Really?
And I'm like, well, first you just got a pop. Two, I'm like, what the heck was that?
It made a sound.
It made a popping like a balloon
Oof.
with water popping. So I keep driving, and I didn't figure, I hit anything. It didn't feel like it hit anything. But within minutes,
Oh, no.
my car smells like skunk.
Oh, gosh.
My car smells like skunk. And I'm thinking like, oh my God. I wasn't thinking about, oh my God, my car stinks. I'm like, oh my God, I killed a skunk.
Oh, you thought that? You're so nice. You thought I killed
skunks?
the poor animal?
If skunks didn't have that stink gland,
Yeah.
the ones that are made for pets, I want one. They're so cute.
Yeah, they are.
They're so cute. And I'm thinking, I just killed like my puppy, That's what I felt like. I feel like I killed my puppy and my car's going to stink as a punishment. So
Oh, man.
it was so creepy to realize what that popping noise was down the road. I'm like, oh
my God.
that poor little skunky.
Oh, I have two roadkill stories for you. Okay, so the first roadkill story is like yours, like the puppy. So I was driving daytime, and very open road, two lanes, very bright. And in the corner of my eye, like when you kind of see a bug or an insect in the corner of your eye, and you look over and you see it. In the corner of my eye, there's a bunny rabbit. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Running over towards my car. But it's almost like if it was a little kamikaze plane, headed for my car. Yeah. And it's getting closer, closer, closer. And I'm trying to, I didn't want to swerve and, kill myself. Sorry, it's Bunny. It's either you or me.
It's you or me, friend.
And he literally ran directly diagonally to my car and, ran under the tires and got crushed.
He's probably trying to escape something, and you helped it. You're free. Oh, that's.
I felt terrible because it was
yeah.
It was oh man. Yeah, it was like one of those. Oh man. But nature got its revenge on me. Even though I didn't do anything, I was just driving, But
you're guilty by.
I've always heard of people kill themselves because they try to swerve. In my
No,
split
you
second,
did the right thing,
right?
You did the right thing.
I know it sounds terrible, but I've heard people they drive. You hear all these stories to avoid the deer. They went off a cliff.
North Carolina, Jacksonville,
Right?
North Carolina.
You went off a cliff.
I rolled my.
No.
I had a geoprism. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah,
Geoprism?
very boxy.
Yeah, I had a geoprism, and I'm driving through my parking lot, and there's a deer jumps out, and then to avoid the deer, I swerve. If you're familiar with the Jacksonville road, North Carolina roads, there's ditches on each side.
Oh no!
I went into the ditch, and my car went end over end, and I'm seatbelted hanging upside down from my car. And I'm luckily that was more embarrassment and car damage, and nothing would happen to me.
Thank God.
But yes, ever since then, you did the right thing. You had to keep going straight and protect yourself.
So last minute decision. So in your mind, you reacted, and it's like a millisecond. So I'll give you my other, which is kind of the same thing. You in your mind were like deer. You saw deer and you swerved, right? So I was riding my bike, which is a little slower than a car, right? But I was going down a hill. I do road biking, so just picture I have the whole setup. I have the whole racing gear, and I have the helmet, a little bib on, and I got my logo on, and my racing bike and glasses and everything. So I'm looking super cool. And I'm on the shoulder of the road, and it's a bend, so I'm turning kind of like a blind turn. So whatever's around the turn is going to be a scene that I have to assess. So here's the scene. On the small shoulder that I'm riding on, is a completely squished and already dead squirrel. It got run over by something. And there's blood everywhere, right? To the right of the squirrel is these vines and woods, right? There's these hanging vines. And to the left is traffic, right? So I turn the corner, and my mind has to decide, and maybe you could decide now, swerve left around the squirrel, go over the squishy squirrel, like
Take a chance with traffic.
take a chance with traffic because I didn't know if a car was there because it was just so fast, or hit the vines.
What did you do? I would have gone vines or traffic. I definitely would avoid squishing the squirrel.
Exactly. Like, really, the smartest thing would have been to go right over the blood and the squishy squirrel. And my brain knew in the millisecond, don't go into traffic. So I swerved right into the vines, and the vines grabbed me, cut my face. I fell off the bike. But at least I was like in the woods and on the side of the road.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, nature.
Oh, speaking of horrible bike stories, our friend Georgie.
Uh-oh.
I love Georgie. He took me. Remember, I had a bike last year.
Yeah.
It was last year. I had a bike, and the year before,
The white one.
Yeah, and I loved that bike. And because of my MS, I had to give up riding it because I would get too hot, or
Balance
issue. So Georgie, we were supposed to go on a bike ride to George Washington. No, someplace in upstate New York where there's a little coffee shop.
Yeah. That's a great ride.
Yeah, so I was supposed to go on a ride with a group of people sponsored by a bike shop, which will remain nameless. The bike shop guy who was running it took off and left me, completely left me, dusted me. Like, they went. It's a ride for everybody except me. Yeah. Except me. So Georgie stayed with me, and he saw I was having trouble because it was like a little incline. And he went to help me, and I got too close to him. You know when someone, you're trying to help them and they get too close to you. I didn't touch him, but I got too close to him. So he leaned over and
like he was trying to overcompensate, like not touch you kind of thing. Right. Like he
leaned over and he saw there was like a little tree there. So he kind of like stuck his hand out thinking it would help brace him.
Oh,
because
no.
it looked like he was going to go down because of me.
Yeah.
And he braced himself on it, and it kind of like wham.
Like football. Yeah. He went straight down.
He had all this bruised up and everything for like 2 weeks. I felt so bad. So pretty much after that, I sold the bike because I realized
you're going to kill someone.
Him or me. One of us were going down, or you eventually. So,
oh, man.
So I definitely got rid of that bike. So no squirrels for me and no bike.
No squirrels. Wait, I was going to tell you one more. I ride alone. That's what I was going to say. I ride alone because I was reminded I did a ride for everyone, and all these guys were like super serious, super buffed, and they were, I don't know if you've ever seen like road bikers. They go into like this chain that goes around. It's called like a line or whatever. So one guy in the front pulls for like 4 seconds and then comes off, and they do like a conveyor belt. So I'm on this group ride. It's my first time on a group ride, and I'm dying. The guys are like, we're going like 25 miles an hour, and I'm like, the skinny little legs, and those guys are like huge elephant trunk legs. And I'm like, where are we going?
Can we go home?
Can we go home? Totally. Usually my rides are like I'm looking around, except when they're squirrels, but like super crazy legs, and I'm like dying. So I go to the front, and I'm like, hey, it's my turn to pull. Right, so I'm like all proud, and I'm like going really hard, and the guy behind me is like, "Get the bleep out of the way!"
Yeah, little pansy.
Yeah, exactly. Like apparently, I took 5 seconds in the front instead of like 4. You're supposed to keep the line moving.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn. Oh my!
Forget it.
Yeah, like, and the funnier part was years later when I sold the bike. A year later, the guy who bought the bike for him went to that bike shop to get a brand new set of pedals because I kept the pedals with my shoes.
Okay.
And the guy said, "Hey, this bike looks familiar," because it was a unique bike. And the guy's like, "Yeah, the guy who bought it from you sold it to me." He's like, "Oh, why'd he sell it?" "Because he has MS, you jerk, when you left him. Do you remember that?" You left them behind.
You friggin' abandoned
That's what he said. He told the guy, no, he has MS and he can't ride the bike as much as he used to.
And you left him behind.
He did say that, and he was still hurt from the ride that you guys left him. He's crying inside every day.
And he lost a friend to a tree.
Oh, Georgie. I love that guy.
It's like every story about Georgie is going to be getting hurt.
But he's such a good human being, you know?
Yeah.
He took one for the team. I see what I did there.
Yeah.
Be here all week.
All right, so we're wearing our New York stuff. The Yankees did not. We're baseball fans, and we hate Boston, but
we love Boston people. We just don't like the Red Sox.
No, I don't like any people.
Shut up. Make believe.
Tell me about your new friend.
So now I have the Sony A6 III A6300.
Yeah, usually it's called the A6300,
Yeah.
not 863.
8675309. Sorry.
Actually, that's a direct competitor to the Fuji X-T20.
Ding.
And I've been wanting to try that camera, so I don't know if you're up for a borrow one day.
Yes, I definitely want you to borrow it because there's plenty of people in the comments that want you to give Sony a chance.
Yeah, I actually want to be like, I want to try it and see how it
And
feels.
see if your hands burn when you touch it.
Exactly.
It stings.
It's
It
like The
stings.
Exorcist.
So yeah, so I'm gonna give this a try. It came with the Power Zoom 16 to 50 kit lens and this 51.8.
Yeah, you showed pictures. It's great.
And right off the bat, I took only a couple pictures. I still haven't messed with the settings, so I don't know what it does, what it can't do. But we'll look into it. We'll take a look and we'll give it a run for its money. But the bokeh on this 50, butter,
Yes.
melted naked butter.
Yeah, this is a great camera for those of you that are moving up from a point and shoot. So forget your point and shoot. You want something that changes lenses. The A6300 is great. Fuji X-T20 is great.
They're affordable too, unlike the A6500, which is at starting body only $1,100.
Yeah, 1,000 range.
This is stuff starting at $7 something for the body, $898 for the kit.
Yeah, and even someone who's not this serious wanting something, the A6000 sometimes goes on sale for like $500.
Right. If you're not, if you're a photographer that's starting and you're moving away from a point and shoot, the A6000 is a great camera to start. If you're more seasoned and more, tweaked, then it may not be fast enough for you as far as autofocus is concerned, but it's still a great camera. It's just not as great with the autofocus here.
For sure.
It's like comparing a Hyundai to a Jaguar. They're both going to get you where you got to go. They're both going to be really good. One's going to do it a little faster. That's all.
Totally.
And burn a lot of gas. Those batteries, bro.
Oh, the batteries. What does it take the same as the 60?
No, it doesn't.
A new battery.
They look thicker and bigger, but that didn't sound right. They look thicker and bigger, and they're about they drain just as fast.
The Fuji takes the same camera pretty much across their line, so that's kind of good. If you
Same
have
battery?
Same battery. What did I say?
Camera.
Yeah, it takes the same camera.
They're all
put it on
like
top of.
T2.
They're like Legos.
Funny.
I don't listen to myself when I talk. Do you?
No.
Oh, man.
I don't listen to you when you talk either, but that's... Eminem. No.
So I've been contemplating changing my whole flash system over to Flashpoint.
Okay.
I'm a little nervous because it is kind of like it is third party for like the Canon gear for Sony, for Nikon. The Flashpoint stuff and the Godox stuff is third party, but everything I've been researching, you can go full. Right now I'm like half. I use the Explorer 600 TTL for my like temple work and church work and kind of like studio portraits. But if I'm working an event, I have a Canon flash on my camera. But the plan is to put a Flashpoint. Where is it? Hold on. Here it is. Flashpoint makes a speed light.
Oh.
And it can act as a commander.
For the 600?
For everything.
Wow.
And what I've been doing at events is I bring this guy and I change my commander up top, like the trigger. Mm-hmm. But the trigger obviously doesn't have a light on it. Sometimes like something's happening over there.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly. You can't move this light fast enough, so you could turn on your speed light that's on your camera to throw some light over or bounce. So I hate just having a trigger on my camera. I like having a flash where I could run if something's happening. Right now, I'm thinking of switching over. Have you tried any of the Flashpoint stuff?
No. Both you and our friend Georgie have this Flashpoint Explorer.
I have two if you want to borrow one.
And he loves it.
Yeah.
He was trying so hard to get me to use it on a corporate shoot I had to do the other day. But I told him I can't take
if you don't know.
I don't know it. I can't take it and trust the results that are going to come out of it. So nothing but good things have been said.
Dang. And you can get a manual version of this for less than $500. Sometimes it goes on sale for like $399 for one of these manual ones. But the TTL one, I rarely ever shoot TTL because the flash always does something crazy. Like it either will start exploding tons of light, boom, and you're like, let me just do another test shot.
Recycle time.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2.
And you don't know why. So I usually, in those moments, because it's usually during some kind of event, I switch to manual right away because I can control it. But I found with this flash, it's like super smart TTL. It does what I want.
That's what he was telling me. He's like, Mo, once you try it, you're gonna want it. It's not gonna fail you. You don't even need to practice with it. Just take it, put it on TCL. And I'm like, I can't. I'm getting paid for this. You know?
Yeah, honestly, if you want to borrow my other one, I'm more than happy. It's my backup that stays in my car. Don't break into my car.
Yes, he's got some kind of video system out there watching you.
So anyway, very happy with the Flashpoint. I don't want to jinx anything, but the plan is to use this as the commander, keep my Canon as a slave because they sell a little trigger for the Canon. So you know what's funny? I'm making a $400 speed light. Look, it's a lithium battery. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I noticed that about Godox and
Godox.
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 Actually, it's been confirmed.
I don't care. I'm gonna say Godox.
Tomatoes.
Tomorrow, I'm still gonna say Godox.
I forgot to mention that. I'm so tired of charging.
Yeah, I'm so
batteries.
sick of my unlooped batteries.
Yeah, and you know what? Changing them during an event is like, it's dark. I can't see which way they go.
And I've loved them.
Those are great batteries.
They've carried me forever, but it's getting to the point where I hate that. But this is a very meaty feeling flash, though.
Absolutely. And I've used it on camera, fooling around, and the recycle time, full blast, because I was bouncing on a high ceiling behind me, is 2 seconds.
Wow.
So it's like, kaplon! 1, 2, kaplon!
That's awesome.
2, kaplon! Imagine that full...
That's like a beat.
Eminem got nothing on me. But just imagine that if you needed full power, I wouldn't do it continuously because you would probably cook the
Everything.
the flash.
Everything would
people.
People like, I can't see, honey. I love you.
But the plan, here's the plan. The Flashpoint plan is to have this one for more power. I'm going to get what's called the Evolve 200, which is the power of 3 speed lights in the same size.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's just this size, and you basically have it in your bag, and it could light up a room. You could have it in a corner. And so my plan is to have it on like some kind of group mode where if I need to light up the whole room, this guy's waiting. Ba-boom, light up the whole room during speeches or...
Right, like you normally have right now. Well, I don't know about right now. I haven't shot with you in a while, but you used to have it set up where you had one on a stand here, one on a stand there, one on top of the camera.
Yeah. So I still want the one on top of the camera, obviously, to catch all kinds of moments, but I need that room one, or the one where, during speeches I could turn off the one that's on the camera. Sorry.
You pulled the mo.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
I like the idea. I was going to ask you, like, why are you going to this system? But first of all, the battery sold me right off the bat.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, what is this magic? It's
Yeah,
the devil's work. Bring it in.
I was about to buy another one of these, but I realized that Flashpoint and Godox.
It's your birthday.
They sell a trigger to put your Canon on or your Nikon on, and I can control from my camera. I can control the Canon, but I thought it was silly that it's a $400 slave. But I can control it from the room using this as the commander. So that's the plan right now, and it's going to be slowly implemented. But Flashpoint, if you don't know the company, they're really kicking butt. And
They've been around for a while, and people have been low-key talking about them for a long time.
Now they're becoming like almost a necessity.
So I'm actually going to look into this system because I'm looking to upgrade. I do have an Einstein.
Do you use the little battery pack, the Vagabond Mini?
Yes, I have the Vagabond Mini.
Look at this. This is the battery.
That's awesome.
So you charge this. Those of you on the YouTube channel, it's like the size of what is this the size of?
A small cereal bowl.
Yeah, like a tiny little dessert bowl.
Yeah. And
you charge that, and you could have more than one, but it doesn't matter. This thing lasts all day, and this is the whole unit. You don't need a battery pack or to plug it into anything.
That's awesome right there. Like, yeah. I mean, that's awesome. I'm gonna look into it because I'm very happy about it. Turned on. Oh, you turned on right there. Oh, my eyes.
It's got a modeling lamp.
I used to love my eyes. In 2018.
2018? I don't say 2018.
In 2018, if you had to go back to a crop sensor and live on a crop sensor, do you have a comfortable feeling with the advancements in crop sensors to be able to live off of it?
Yes and no. Yes, I could switch to...
Well, let me rephrase my question.
All right.
If I come to you today as a beginning photographer and telling you, Omar, I've gotten really good at my craft. I want to start charging for my work, but I don't want to buy another camera. I just want to keep shooting with this crop
You
sensor.
can, absolutely. Yeah, you can, absolutely. And my only hang up with crop, and I use my Fuji at events sometimes, is when the light gets really low and you have to go up with your ISO. With Fuji files, they become kind of waxy. The Canon can just do a better job, in low light and pick up. The crop sensor, or Fuji anyway, I don't know about the Sony crop sensor in low light, it kind of breaks apart. And that makes me kind of scared if you're shooting at a church and you can't use flash.
Right. That's another thing. Also, if you are shooting at church, it's always good to ask beforehand, before you start flashing the flash, if you can use it, because you don't want to piss the rabbi off or the father or wherever the person running the service is. So always ask first before it's flashing flash. Flashing
flash, and definitely have a no flash
backup
ready.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm going to be shooting at 1.8.
The minute you are assigned to any type of religious event, backup plan, always backup plan. What can I do with my light?
Yeah,
and what I can't do if I don't have light.
I would almost add to that and say, assume 80% of the time you're not going to be able to use flash.
No.
It's got to be super non-conservative, like...
you have to be part of the wall. You're not supposed to stick out in these events, so you always have that backup plan.
Yeah. So I would suggest that you color balance for the horrible church lighting.
Love that color.
Yeah.
That's a nice yellow.
That's a yellow-green fluorescent. You know what? It's just black and white, everything.
We call that vomit.
Where's the vomit setting on my white balance? Yeah, I mean, some of these fluorescent lights just kill you, man. Even if you pick something white on a person, it's just like green.
I have somebody walking around with a green card all day.
Oh my gosh.
So you think that you can make it? If someone with a crop sensor, depending on the crop sensor, right? Like, obviously entry level.
Yeah.
Rebel.
Yes. I mean, I've seen a couple of videos recently where people are saying, most people won't notice what you use. If you take good photographs, most people won't notice what we notice.
Let me ask you folks out there, put in the comments, are you using a crop sensor camera and better glass maybe? What makes your photos better with a crop sensor?
Totally.
I mean, let us know.
I honestly have been loving Fuji for me and vacation and shooting and having a good time, but I'm still hesitant to shoot them pro for that low light, waxy. They fall apart. The images fall apart in really low light.
Have you tried the T2 in an event yet?
Yeah, that's the files that I will show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking ambient light. Like, these are just junky little lights that are in a service, and I can only use that. So you definitely if you light up your scene, you're set. But all right, let's talk TV, man. So
you got the text from me the other day that says
Titans. Whoa. And so the show on DC Universe Titans, impressed right away. And you know me, I'm a snob.
I was just about to say that. You guys know how hard it is to get Omar on the show, especially if it's 3 minutes in and he's not impressed.
But look what they did in the beginning. Mm-hmm. It was Robin right away as Robin. Like, in the beginning, it's like a crime.
And he's sitting in his car looking at some stuff.
So, all right, that's the beginning.
Before the first full break, you get an intense scene that leaves you.
Wow. And he is kicking butt. Like, well, the first is the circus. Like, right. So
that draws you in emotionally.
Yeah, the show opens up with a flashback because Dick Grayson worked. He was a circus performer, and his parents
Flying Graysons. So that was. I think that's the whole thing. It grabbed you emotionally right off the bat.
Yeah.
And then it punched you in the face with this action scene.
Man, what about like the F Batman?
Yeah.
Like right away, I was.
And you don't watch trailers, but the trailer made it seem like
it was Batman.
Someone asked him. Remember, someone asked him, "Where's Batman?" in the beginning of that whole fight sequence. And we're not spoiling too much because it's out there in the trailers. But in the beginning of the fight scene, someone asked him, "Where's Batman?"
Yeah.
And he just started whooping everybody's butt,
like Batman.
And at the end of it, he says, "Blank Batman."
F Batman. Yeah.
But in the trailer, it makes it look like when the guy asked him, his first response right away was "F Batman." Editing trick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's cursing out Batman.
That they made Robin scary. They made Robin Dark Knight-ish.
Yes.
Like is Black Darkwing. What's his name?
Nightwing.
Nightwing. Like,
so this is
like the infancy.
The seeds of Nightwing.
Yes.
And I think it's perfect, and you get the sense of, and if you read the comic books, we're not spoiling anything. So you get the sense that he was being corrupted by Batman's view.
Yeah.
As much as we love Batman, and the world loves Batman, I don't care what you say, he is a sick
He is
individual.
too much into his work.
Yeah, He's a little sick and twisted, and really scary how focused he is on certain things.
He's almost obsessed with hurting the enemy and taking them down, as opposed to helping others.
Right.
He's more focused on the enemy, and they even mention that in the show.
Yeah.
Like, you are obsessed with hurting the enemy, but that seems to be what drove him away from Bruce.
Right. That he realized that he himself was reflecting Batman.
He was becoming Batman. Yeah.
Right. So,
I was gonna say that I loved, first of all, amazing casting. Is that Robin or what? Because like that is like the best Robin I've ever seen. Because
if I saw a real grown-up Robin, that's
absolutely,
him. Yeah.
Good-looking guy, built, fat. He's like fast. He's like what Nightwing / Robin would look like. So perfect job on casting. And then the other character introduced in that first Titans is Raven.
Right.
And I don't know too much about her, but she seems like she's like a Scarlet Witch kind of power.
So if anyone knows her power is she has a demon inside her.
Oh, she does?
She has a demon spirit within
I know
her.
the mom was like brujeria, like crosses and stuff.
So this is her learning how to coincide with that, I think.
So how do you know her most? Comic or like Teen Titans Go or
I did not read any of
her stuff. So you just
Teen
know her
Titans
power.
Stuff. So I know her from the Teen Titans show as well as the horrible Suicide Squad.
Oh, she was in that? Okay.
She was in that, and they did such a horrible job.
Oh,
with
so
her.
hopefully this kid already redeemed her, like with her.
Yeah. So, but yeah, they're and then they introduced Firestar.
Firestar.
I don't know.
Starfire.
Please list the below.
Yeah, my son. You know, it's so funny. My son knows more because of the
Teen
show.
Titans
Right. Go.
And the fact that they introduced her, and they also introduced Beast Boy.
Yeah, very briefly.
Briefly, I'm like, I see what they're doing here.
Are they doing Cyborg in the show, or are they skipping him because of DC Universe?
They're saying they're not putting him in
Good.
because
I'm not a fan of his anyway.
Well, the kids love him because of the booyahs and all that stuff.
Okay.
Boo, 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 boo.
So, hey, boo, boo, boo.
The boo, 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 booyah. Yeah.
There's 4 of them then in this show?
Yeah, so far.
Okay.
And it looks like it's the first episode has me waiting for episode 2, which it's already out and I have to catch up, but
what is DC Universe app doing here? It seems like the episodes are locked. Is that they're not doing what Netflix does?
They're not Netflixing. They're not dropping it all at once.
They
want to keep you coming back.
That makes so much sense.
And they also want to. They're not ashamed of their WB Arrowverse shows.
Okay.
They're not, because in the TV world, that's the best you can do. With the Flash, the Supergirls, and the Green Arrows. So they're trying to be episodic just like that.
I love it.
Instead of one binge at a time,
you know,
have to wait.
I was rewatching, and I still want you to watch Breaking Bad, but all 5 seasons, you know, when each season came out, all the episodes came out. Same with House of Cards, all of those. And those are like so bingey.
Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad.
Wasn't that on AMC or something?
Yeah, it was. You're right. It was on AMC. But when Netflix got it, obviously all the episodes were done already, so they had them all. So you actually go from one to the next to the next. So I like this that I saw. There's only 3 available. I actually saved one.
I really like that. I love. Again, you know, I talked about Altered Carbon. I talked about some other, the Daredevil series and stuff like that. I love them.
Yeah,
but I don't love that. It makes you want to watch the next one as soon as the first one ends, because I'm a busy man.
Yeah.
You're a busy person.
Yeah.
And the fact that
I'm a man.
You're a man. You're a man, Papi. So anyway, my whole point is like you feel obligated to watch another one, but you really can't, because I'm too busy to sit down and watch 13, 14,
I watch
23
one
episodes.
and a half, like one, and then I'm like, what happens? And then I get to the half, and I'm like, I gotta stop because I've been sitting here.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what happened with me. Like, I recorded the entire season of The Flash because it comes
up. Go on forever.
There's 23 episodes.
Yeah, man.
And
look, they canceled Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Those should have been 8-episode seasons each. That's what they should have done, but they make them 12, 16 episodes.
They were trying to make that Daredevil money.
Yeah.
Daredevil has gotten it right.
But that first Luke Cage season just dragged on me. Like, just a lot of dialogue. And the characters are good and the actors are good, but I can't sit with them at a coffee shop.
You want more action.
Every episode.
It's a superhero show.
And
Give me more action.
Yeah. Anyway, watch Titans. It's really kick butt so far. I'm on the 2nd episode. You're on the 1st.
Yes.
And we'll talk more about them because it's really well done. I mean, Gotham, the show Gotham must be like...
well, we could have done that. We just weren't ready.
Yeah, not on. This is great. It's kind of rated R though. It's mature audience. They use the F word.
Yeah.
They drop S bombs everywhere.
It's violent.
Oh my God, really
It's
violent.
violent.
Really violent.
Like
it's,
that. That's
it's
another thing.
Loganish almost.
Yeah, that grabbed you. I bet you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like when I saw some of the violent stuff, like, oh, that's how we're gonna play this game. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm in.
there's gunshots to the head that are shown. Like
Oh my God.
I know. So here's my thing: is my son is 12, and I started I mean, it's not for Teen Titan Go viewers.
No, it's not.
So I started watching with him, and of course he says F Batman. I'm like, damn, they dropped an F bomb. Let's just keep going, son.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Don't worry. Then there's like a gunshot to the head. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, he's at that age now, 12. Next year he'll be 13. You know,
Yeah, you gotta introduce him slowly. So as long as you're there, coaxing him through it, talking him through it, that's
talking
good.
him through it. Yeah,
Like not like me who watched Team America with my son.
Oh my
You know what that
God.
movie is?
Yeah, that's so
I watched-
raunchy.
I thought it was maybe a puppet movie and funny. Oh my God.
embarrassing, man.
Oh my God.
Well,
You
look,
went-
I watched the first Terminator. That was 80 something. I must have been 11, 12 years old. Terminator 1. And that had like nudity in it, and it had like really gunshots to the head, and that was violent. That rated
Well,
R.
we were different. We grew up in a different world.
Yeah, you watched Exorcist when you were like 6.
Yeah, that's all that was.
Jaws when you were 7.
You've never seen my mom mad.
Exactly. Nene,
Jaws.
limpia el cuarto. All right, so that was great, buddy.
Awesome. Hey,
See you next time.
don't threaten me. Hey.
Hey, go Yanks, yo.
Go Yanks.
New York here. New York. Here we go.
Let's go to New York. Screenshot.